Now, I got to tell you something. Lieutenant Governor was on deck, but he has deferred to the greatest governor in the nation. And do you know who the greatest governor in the nation brought with him? By far, the greatest First Lady in the history of the nation. First Lady Marty Kemp. Please join me in welcoming Georgia's governor, Governor Brian Kemp.
Thank y'all very much. Thank you guys so much. It's an honor to be here. Mac, thank you for the kind words. I want to thank Faith and Freedom for having the greatest First Lady in the country, Marty Kemp, and I today. I certainly want to thank Ralph Reed and the rest of the team for all that you have done, really to not only help our state, but also help our country in this last election cycle. We are honored to be here with so many people who share a strong commitment to the principles of our faith, including my friend Daniel Cameron. I appreciate his kind words and for him staying in the fight. I know his political days hopefully are not over. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Jones for yielding to me. We're very grateful for that, and the rest of the members of the General Assembly that are here. Thank you all for your service, and we're looking forward to working with you this legislative session. In Matthew chapter 18, verse 20, Jesus tells us, "For wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them." We feel that presence here and now, just as we have felt your prayers over the last 6 years. On behalf of Marty and the girls and I just want to thank y'all for how much you pray for us daily. It means a lot. As we begin this new legislative session, we're going to make sure we're continuing to work on our shared values of life, liberty, and the responsibility as we continue to shape all that we do in this state. We are so blessed, in my opinion, to live in the #1 state in the country for business now for 11 straight years. But I also know what that means for everyday hard-working Georgians because of our responsible, conservative approach to the state budget, because of our determination to bring opportunity to all communities in Georgia, no matter your neighborhood or your zip code. We've been able to save or give back Georgia taxpayers, as Daniel mentioned, over $7.6 billion of your money through multiple gas tax suspensions, tax refund, homestead exemption taxes, and reducing the state income tax. And it's like we always like to say, we're doing that because it's your money. It's not the government's. In this session, we're going to continue to do more of the same, returning another $1 billion of your tax money back to you through a tax refund. We're also working to accelerate, for just the second time in 2 years, the largest state income tax cut in Georgia history, which will save taxpayers another $880 million. By returning your money is not the only way we're trusting and empowering Georgia families. We're also working to strengthen our schools, and certainly here during School Choice Week, I want to stress we're making it easier for Georgia families to make the choices that best fit their needs. Last year, we created an ongoing commitment to school safety funding in the state budget. This year, we're building on that work by giving schools another round of grants for campus security that equates to almost $70,000 per school. I was also proud to sign the Georgia Promise Scholarship Act last year. I know many of you worked on that. Which will enable parents to make the best decision for their child's education. I've also recommended over $141 million to go in the fiscal 26 budget for the first year of that scholarship. As you all know, we have that same level of commitment to supporting lives and families at all stages here in Georgia. Whether it's fighting for the Life Act at all levels or expanding assistance benefits for expectant or new mothers, we have not wavered in our commitment to that principle, and we never will. That's why my current budget proposal calls for an additional $2.9 million in funding to expand the Department of Public Health's perinatal home visit pilot program, meeting mothers where they are and getting them the care that they need. And thanks to, as I mentioned earlier, the best First Lady in the country, Marty Kemp, we're continuing to be in the fight to end human trafficking. And I know many of you are in that fight with us. In Georgia, we have worked to become a national leader in this space, and thanks to her efforts and those of the Grace Commission, we have now passed 9 pieces of legislation supporting survivors and empowering law enforcement to go after offenders. Earlier this week, Marty introduced her 10th piece of legislation on this issue, and as the Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month draws to a close, the First Lady has also announced an updated training resource available to all Georgians for free so they can help us end this evil industry. These are just the latest reminders to the criminals in our state. If you come after our children, we will be coming after you. Standing up for life at all stages and standing up for those who value it is something we believe in both here and abroad. And that's why our support for Israel is and will continue to be unwavering. I know you heard from a great friend of Georgia earlier, Anat Sultan Dadan, and Marty and I have had the honor of traveling with her to the holy place of Israel, which she calls home, where we met with many Israeli leaders. In the first days of the war against Hamas terrorists, I instructed our state treasurer to buy $10 million worth of bonds from Israel to support them in their defense efforts. That brought our total investment to Israel via bonds to $25 million. We remain committed to supporting Israel's right to defend itself, just as we have cracked down on those who try to implement so-called boycott, divest, and sanction measures to try and weaken this ally. We've also gone after those who have spread hatred and anti-Semitism in our communities through legislation I signed a year ago this month. Just this last week, I had the honor of meeting with a Holocaust survivor in Poland who shared her powerful story and told us about the cruelty that she faced. We also had the opportunity to take part in the commemoration ceremony for the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, where I saw firsthand the evil of that death camp. As men and women of faith, we have to ensure that that massacre of the descendants of Abraham is never allowed to happen again. In closing, I want to thank you all for your courage and perseverance that you've shown over the years as we have faced and overcome unprecedented challenges together here in our state. Despite facing a hostile media and an administration in Washington, D.C. bent on fighting our efforts to grow the economy, back law enforcement, promote conservative solutions to healthcare challenges, and stand up for the rights of all Georgians like you, and stand up for those that believe in life, we were able to do all those things and more here in the best state to live, work, and raise a family. As we enter a new day in our nation, we look forward to working with new leadership to build on all these successes that we've had. And I know that if we continue to work together, we can do exactly that. So stay in the fight, y'all. Thank you very much. God bless you, and keep chopping.